K24, and you're right on time for K24's New Dawn. My name is Joel Chacha. Even as today, we focus on the state of the nation. In studio, I'll be joined by very key guests. That is Honorable Nabi Nabwera Lugari, Member of Parliament, Kimani Mwangi, our political analyst, and as well Maliba Arnold, who is the head of policy and public affairs at the UDA party. A conversation that you can't afford to miss, even as we focus on now the public participation exercise that will be conducted in all the 290 constituencies as far as the Gachagua impeachment motion is concerned. That is the Deputy President's motion that was tabled by the Kibwezi West Member of Parliament, that is Mwengi Mutuse, seeking, of course, Gachagua's ouster from office. And the sittings, that is the parliament sittings of today, have since been suspended. This is to pave way for MPs to visit the various constituencies. And so the public participation exercise will be taking place tomorrow, that is on Friday, in all the 47 counties, going down to the 290 constituencies. Now, interestingly, these MPs who voted in support of Gachagua's motion will receive 300,000 Kenya shillings, a total of 87.3 million Kenya shillings, with, just to go to the ground and mobilize at least Kenyans to come on board and give their views. So each member of parliament will part away with 300,000 Kenya shillings. Keen to note, even as already there were allegations from Gachagua's side that the MPs who had appended their signatures to this motion had been given a whopping 5 million Kenya shillings. Those, however, are allegations that we cannot confirm at the moment. But the main question is, where is President William Ruto's voice, even as his deputy, of course, is facing an impeachment motion? Where is President William Ruto's voice, even as his deputy is facing an impeachment motion? He has been silent. Remember, there was a parliamentary group meeting that was set to be actually organized on Tuesday, but he appeared to bow to the pressure from members of parliament to not have the parliamentary group meeting. And perhaps the only time they're going to meet is when Gachagua is out. That, of course, to discuss who will replace Gachagua. Several, of course, figures have been vouched for, but it's not yet clear whether President Ruto will settle for the likes of Anne Waiguru, Mutahi Kagwe, the Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga, and even, the interior boss Kithure Kindiki, among others, were being, of course, vouched for to take over that particular position. Also, could it be Ndindi Nyoro, who did not participate in signing the motion, even as previously he, of course, had locked horns with the Deputy President Gachagua over being Ruto's running mate come 2027. So that will form a better part of conversation this morning. But also there's already another impeachment that has already occurred, that is in Kericho County, where Governor Eric Mutai, who has been accused, among others, of engaging actually in unnatural sexual behavior, has been impeached. 31 MCAs voted in support of the impeachment motion, while 16 boycotted the exercise. However, there was a court order that was there, but of course, according to the Speaker, they had not been served by the time they were proceeding, of course, to vote. So that matter will come before the Senate. Similar to Gachagua's matter, if at all he will be impeached, then he will have to face the Senate. In fact, on Tuesday next week, members of parliament will get at least 5 minutes to debate. Deputy President Gachagua will be allocated 2 hours 30 minutes to put his defense, even as, of course, the move of the motion, that is the Mwengi Mutuse, will be given about an hour 60 minutes to put his case. He believes he has sufficient evidence. 11 grounds to remove Gachagua from office. But I also invite you in this conversation via social media platforms at K24 TV, at Joel Chacha, as well, and SMS and WhatsApp numbers on the bottom of your screens. I'll be glad to sample some of your feedback before wrapping up New Dawn this morning. We'll also be highlighting on the Social Health Authority, which is now rolling out for, of course, this being day 3, even as over 21 billion old debt is haunting the new insurance that, of course, replaces NHIF. Various patients, of course, were returned or are turned away in private and mission hospitals. That is actually the faith-based and rural urban facilities who have rejected SHA contracts. That is a conversation, of course, that you can't afford to miss, and your views will be incorporated. But first of all, we begin our focus with this story, where the National Assembly has suspended Thursday's sitting, that is today, to allow members of Parliament to travel to their constituencies for a public participation exercise tomorrow on Friday, ahead of the impeachment motion against the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. The House has set Tuesday to debate the motion with a morning session scheduled. Each MP will be given a chance to contribute, and the Deputy President will have 2 hours and 30 minutes to defend himself. Listen in.
A day after the impeachment motion seeking removal of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua from office was tabled, the National Assembly is focusing on sealing any legal loopholes, including the public participation process.
I wish to clarify that the public participation program additionally contemplates the collection of views at the constituency level. In this regard, I confirm that the officers of the clerk shall be present to assist the collection and compilation of views from onward transmission to the office of the clerk through the respective collection compilation centers specified in the public advertisement.
This has prompted the House to suspend its sittings on Thursday to allow preparations for the public participation exercise to be held on Friday.
Public participation we intend to do is public participation that is very granular, right from the polling station all the way to the county. Without Honorable Speaker, therefore necessary that we retreat tomorrow and we don't have a sitting tomorrow afternoon as the norm is as per our calendar.
As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have.
The debate has been scheduled for Tuesday with every MP willing to speak, given an opportunity, while the Deputy President will have 2 hours and 30 minutes to present his defense.
A maximum of 60 minutes for the mover in moving and 30 minutes in replying, and a maximum of 5 minutes each for any other member speaking, and that at least 2.5 hours before a vote is taken on the motion, the Deputy President or President, as the case may be, shall be accorded an opportunity to be heard in accordance with Standing Order 67B2.
We propose that on Tuesday we have a morning sitting and an afternoon sitting, but the afternoon sitting will only end when the order of the business for the day is concluded.
Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Across the country, Kenyans have expressed mixed reactions to the process, with many eager to see if their input will be considered.
Rigathi anaenda, waende pamoja. Tulipiga kura moja hivi. Hatukupiga kura mbili.
Nini nataka kumwacha kwa barabara, akuje ground hapa. Wale ni MP 200 anataka kuwapea pesa wa impeach. Wajue ground hapa tuko na tujapotea, wale walikuwa wako na tuko hapa na tubanduki.
Katika ile mambo wanafanya, akumbuke yeye anataka kwenda miaka ingine 10. 2027 atatupata ground. Ile kura yetu tulimpigia kwa sababu ya Rigathi. Kama hata ichunga leo, hata 2027 asikuje kwa sababu hata ipata.
Tuko na ushugu mwingi sana na hii serikali yetu. Kwa nini wanauliza hii Deputy President wetu kutoka Nyeri? Hawa mbunge tuliwachagua. Kazi yao ni mambo ya kuimplishi wale wengine. Sasa tunauliza, mtatufanyia kazi lini?
Joel Chacha, K24 TV, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, Kericho County Governor Eric Mutai has been impeached following a heated session in the County Assembly, despite a High Court order that had earlier stopped the impeachment proceedings. The controversial session was marked by the absence of 16 members of the County Assembly, that is MCAs, who boycotted the vote in protest. Sigoet MCA Keprotich Rogoni was the mover of the motion based the Governor Mutai's impeachment on a gross violation of the Constitution, various national and county laws, abuse of office, and gross misconduct.
We just want it to be as emphatic as possible that the existence of an order is there, and if we were to proceed, we would be proceeding by choice of disobeying the order, not for lack of knowledge of its existence. Our situation on behalf of the governor, being that there is an order made by the court this 2nd day of October.
In a decisive move, 31 MCAs who attended the Wednesday session voted to impeach Governor Mutai, sending shockwaves across the county after 7 days of uncertainty following the tabling of the impeachment motion by Sigowet MCA Kiprotich Rogony.
The motion seeking the removal of impeachment from office of the governor for Kericho County, Honorable Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, by impeachment has been supported by 2/3 of the members of the County Assembly of Kericho. I therefore declare that the motion is passed and the governor, Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai, stands impeached.
The governor was faulted, among other things, for overseeing revenue leakages by failure to implement automation of revenue collection and gross violation of the Constitution.
This House, having started the motion on the impeachment of the governor, could not be stopped by any court of law. And by any chance, Mr. Speaker, we gave a notice 7 days ago. The governor had an opportunity to use every other means if he wanted to be heard. Mr. Speaker, the governor is as guilty as charged. This governor must go.
The governor was further accused of allegedly overseeing misappropriation of the funds meant for the 52 victims of the June 30th, 2023 Londiani accident.
I was in the special committee, or rather committee on Londiani accident, Mr. Speaker. I felt so bad, Mr. Speaker, when the governor referred to us as a funeral committee, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I have sat in committees in my rural home as a funeral committee, but for that case, Mr. Speaker, I sat as an honorable member in a committee, special committee formed to investigate the same issues of Londiani issues, Mr. Speaker. We recommend to His Excellency the Governor that people that was involved in the same theft, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, you see the way we lost money. The governor himself pronounced himself, and eventually, Mr. Speaker, they went ahead and paid 2,037,524 for Kericho County Referral Hospital, Mr. Speaker. At the same time, 1,534,190 for Londiani Sub-County Hospital, Mr. Speaker. This one came to a total of over 4 million, Mr. Speaker. And we have the evidence of the checks from the same account, Mr. Speaker. It was so painful.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I support the removal of Dr. Mutai in his office. We need sanity in Kericho County. We really need progress in Kericho County.
The vote marks a significant turn of events in the political career of Governor Mutai, whose fate now lies with the Senate. Rehab Kinuthia, K24 TV, Kericho County.
On to other news, President William Ruto has defended plans to lease the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, that is the JKIA, to the Indian-based Adani Group amid controversy surrounding the 30-year concession agreement. Ruto argues that the renovation and expansion will increase Kenya's capacity to attract 5 million tourists by 2027. This is the first time the president has addressed the issue, which he considers a priority despite opposition from Kenya's airport authority workers, that is KAU, and integrity concerns. Timothy Simwa reports.
Uhuru Gardens, President William Ruto officially opened the Magical Kenya Travel Expo 2024. But the expo would also present a good opportunity for the president to make a case for the controversial lease of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to Adani Group.
And by 2027, as I have said, we want to have 5 million tourists. And that is the reason why we need to expand our airport.
The planned renovations will improve the airport's capacity and position Kenya as a premier tourist destination.
The name Magical Kenya reflects our status as a premier global tourism destination, and the Expo serves as a top platform for stakeholders to showcase our country's unique offerings to the whole world.
The Adani Group secured a 30-year concession through a privately initiated proposal PIP. Short-term plans include the construction of a new terminal, associated apron, and a taxiway system set for completion by 2029.
By the end of 2023, Kenya welcomed over 2 million visitors, generating Kenya shillings 350 billion in revenue, a clear indicator of our global appeal. On target is to attract 5 million visitors annually by 2027. Achieving this requires concerted efforts from all players in the sector.
Today marks a historical moment in our industry as we gather here to reimagine how to promote Destination Kenya.
The deal has caused jitters among Kenya Airport Authority workers who went on strike to protest the deal. The government, however, has assured that their jobs are secure and will be retained under existing terms.
We are introducing a transit and long connection travelers electronic travel authorization. Again, another milestone, which enables transit visitors to step out of the airport and explore the beauty of their home away from home.
And many times it's easy for us to forget that God has blessed us. And sometimes we focus on the negative.
2 weeks ago, Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi clashed with senators who questioned the integrity of the process used to award the concession to the Adani Group. Timothy Simwa, K24 TV.
Away from that, the Social Health Authority Insurance Fund continues to generate more heat than light, with the Council of Governors accusing the government of bypassing them in its implementation. This came as the Social Health Authority announced that over 12.5 million Kenyans had registered for the scheme, despite teething problems among the 15 counties targeted in the first phase. Alan Wino with that report.
Benefits did they access? That is contribution.
Speaking during the COG quarterly meeting, COG Health Committee Chair Muthomi Njuki noted that the new health scheme being rolled out is marred with irregularities and confusion, with the counties being reduced to bystanders.
The gestation IPA has not been signed to date by any county, yet implementation has already started. PS, what are you basing this on? I mean, in my county, you're already there, you already launched. I've not signed anything. I mean, is this a trial, or are you saying whether I sign or not, you'll still go on?
Further highlighting the faults with the scheme, Muthomi noted that patients suffering from chronic diseases were in danger as there was no cover for them after NHIF stopped services 2 days ago, adding that the contracting of healthcare providers was not complete and yet the rollout had already begun.
Patients who need services for the treatment and management of chronic diseases cannot access services since the emergency, chronic and critical ill covers have not been activated. We are still at the primary level and the shift. But what about those who are chronically ill and they know that from the information you're given, they are supposed to be accessing the service? Do we have a time period which they are supposed to wait despite having an emergency or chronic illness for them to access the service?
The PS for Public Health, Harry Mutai, while admitting that the registration process for various stakeholders had experienced challenges, assured counties that significant progress was being made on the same and confirmed the government was seeking an extra 65,000 devices for all public health facilities.
I want to report that indeed there is a significant progress, and for the first time we have seen the highest number of county health facilities being registered for the purpose of being in panel with the now Social Health Authority, and we expect that was one of the biggest challenges that the Excellency Governors were asking, how come NHIF then was not paying money to these facilities. We realized there was a challenge in terms of registration and empanelment.
On her part, the chair for the CEC Health Caucus, Roslyn Omolo, questioned the implementation and period of the program, calling on the SHA to provide clear directions on the same.
Last week we asked, what is the implementation period and the implementation plan? We know the rollout was done in 15 counties, but we also know we have 47 counties. So what about the other 32? What happens? Are we on our own? Do we just proceed? How does this work?
This was echoed by her Nandi counterpart Ruth Koech, who said that counties were owed over 30 billion shillings by the defunct NHIF, and it was not clear how this would be resettled.
We looked at the cancer patients who will need 85 billion. So the numbers for planning versus the reality of the funds available, we must be very careful to win the confidence of our citizens by promising what we can really deliver.
Alan Owino for K24.
Still in the same breath, hundreds of patients with chronic illnesses across the country struggle to access cancer and dialysis treatments as many health facilities rejected NHIF cards demanding cash payments. This comes amid challenges with the rollout of the Social Health Insurance Fund, as Acting Social Health Authority CEO Elijah Washira confirmed that data processing stalled due to biometric failures. Busara Naman reports on the patients' plight as the transition from NHIF to SHIF began on Tuesday.
As the SHIF rollout enters day 2, a spot check in hospitals across the country showed the agony of cash-strapped patients seeking dialysis stranded in hospitals, desperately trying to raise money for life-saving treatments. In Nakuru County, Anthony Njuguna Njui, who relies on his NHIF card for twice-weekly dialysis, was informed upon arrival that his card was invalid, forcing him to pay in cash.
Wakanihesabia ile pesa wataka nilipe cash ni shilingi 6,800. Jamani, sasa tutatoa wapi? Si tunategemea tu msaada kutoka kwa mtu, kwa watu, familia, hasa wamefika mwisho.
Sina pesa, wanaitisha 9,500. I don't have that kind of money. Penye nilikuwa nikifanya kazi niliacha, kwa sababu wezi waachiliwa na employer ukosage kwenda kazi masaa 8 in a week. So I've been surviving on handouts.
Similar incidences were reported by dialysis patients. In Migori County, hospitals saw a surge of patients, many paying in cash while trying to register for the new social health insurance. Following the complaints raised by the patients, the Minister of Health, in a circular to newsrooms, urged hospitals to continue providing essential services, including dialysis, cancer treatment, and maternity care. Elsewhere, Laikipia Governor Joshua Irungu has said that plans were underway to educate the public on the new insurance system to ensure understanding and enrollment.
Tumesema ya kwamba ikiwa wewe ile services mlikuwa mnaendelea naye hapa ada NHIF kwamba hakuna kutoa pesa, kwa hivyo mnakuja hapa na services ile huduma mlikuwa mnapata itaendelea. Na hata hapa.
Meanwhile, all NHIF members have been transferred to the Social Health Authority with a text message on Wednesday asking them to update their details. This move sparked outrage online, with many Kenyans accusing the government of violating data privacy by making the transfer without consent. Busara Naman, K24 TV.
Well, and as promised, today being on a Thursday, we focus on the state of the nation. Remember, that story by Busara Naman will also form a better part of a conversation this morning. Is the Social Health Authority working for you? Compared, of course, to NHIF. Share your views, your comments, and I'll be sampling some of your feedback. But also, a focus on the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment motion that is before the National Assembly. Public participation exercise is set to take place tomorrow, and MPs will not have sit-ins today. But already in studio, I'm joined by one of them, that is Honorable Nabi Nabwera, who's the Lugari Member of Parliament, and as well Kimani Mwangi, a political analyst. Set to join us shortly will be Arnold Maliba, who is the Head of Policy and Public Affairs, the UDA party, even as we focus, of course, on various matters, including that of Adani President William Ruto defending the JKA Adani takeover, of course saying it will attract at least 5 billion tourists come by 2027. Keep the conversation going via social media platforms at K24 TV, at Joel Chachazolo on SMS and WhatsApp numbers, and I'll be glad to sample some of your feedback before wrapping up New Dawn this morning. We take a short commercial break. We'll come back with what is on our dailies this morning. Stay tuned.